Everyone thinks AI is going to replace junior analysts. That is the big fear, right? Automation is coming for entry-level finance jobs. But after seeing dozens of founders trying to build AI-powered finance setups, that is not what's actually happening. AI isn't replacing analysts. It is replacing something far more dangerous: bad judgment. And if you don't understand the difference, AI won't save your company. It will destroy it. And let me show you what I mean. Quick intro if you're new here. My name is Kishore Dasaka, and I'm a fractional CFO, and I work with founders who are scaling and prepping for exits. And lately, every single founder that I talk to is asking the same question: how do I use AI in my finance function? And honestly, most of them are getting the answers wrong because the internet is full of AI hype right now. Everybody is selling the dream. Nobody is talking about the risks. So today, I'm going to give you the real answer. Not the hype, not the LinkedIn version, but the version that actually keeps your company alive. So a founder came to me recently, a really sharp guy, tech background, scaling fast. And he said, Kishore, you've got to see this. We built an AI-powered finance setup. And he walked me through the whole thing. Auto-generated scripts, auto-generated forecasts, ledgers, and auto-variance analysis. I'll be honest, on the surface, it looked really impressive. Dashboards everywhere, numbers updating in real time, and the whole team was excited about it. But then I did what I always do. I started asking questions, and that is when things started falling apart. I asked, what is driving your revenue forecast? And he said, the AI built it from historical data. Okay, but when I looked at the assumptions underneath, they hadn't been touched. The model was projecting a 40% growth based on a quarter where they had one single large enterprise deal. Now that is not a growth trend. That is an anomaly, and AI had absolutely no way of knowing the difference. Then I looked at the margins. They were overstated because the model wasn't accounting for the new hires that they'd actually committed to. And then we came to the cash burn. It was understated because the payables were being pushed out in the model, but not in real life. And the AI came with different scenarios. The AI had generated 3 scenarios: the best case, the base case, and the worst case. But the worst case still showed them to be profitable. Now, as you know, that is really not a worst case. That is a fantasy projection. And here's what happened. The AI wasn't wrong. It was purely obedient, and it took the founders' assumptions and scaled them beautifully into dashboards and projections. But the assumptions themselves were flawed, and nobody caught it because everybody trusted the machine. And that is the trap, because AI gives you a false sense of precision. You see clean dashboards, you see neat charts and numbers that tie out perfectly. And your brain says, this must be right. It looks too good to be wrong. But the precision is not the point. You can be precisely wrong. And AI makes it very easy to be precisely, confidently, and beautifully wrong. And this is the part that most people get wrong about AI in finance. The risk isn't AI making errors. AI is actually quite good at the math. It will reconcile your ledger faster than any human. The real risk is AI doesn't eliminate errors, it actually scales them. If you feed it bad assumptions, it gives you beautiful, confident, and completely wrong outputs. And that is way more dangerous than junior analyst making a mistake in XM. Because at least with a human, you know that you'll have to double check. With AI, the outputs look so polished, so clean, so professional that founders usually stop questioning them. And that is really when the damage begins. And we've seen this play out in diligence. A buyer's team pulls the model apart and they realize that the entire forecast is built on assumptions that nobody validated. That doesn't just kill the deal, it kills the founder's credibility. So the question is not whether you should or should not use AI in finance. Of course you should use it. It's incredibly powerful. The question is, how do you use it without it becoming a liability? And that is where we are getting to. Companies that are winning the war with AI right now, they're not the ones that are using it to automate routine tasks. They're the ones that are using AI to stress test decisions. That is a huge difference. Automating means letting AI build the forecast and we'll go with it. Stress testing decisions means let AI build the forecast and then let's interrogate every assumption behind it. So here are 4 questions that I ask every founder to build into their AI workflow. Number 1, why did the model assume this? Don't just look at the output, look at the input. What data is driving this forecast? Is it relevant? Is it current? Or is it pulling it from a quarter that doesn't represent the reality anymore? Number 2, what breaks if collections slip by 15 days? This is the cash flow stress test. Most AI models show you a happy path projection, but in India, delayed collections are the norm, not the exception. So if your model can't handle that scenario, your model is completely useless. Number 3, which scenario kills your runway? Not which scenario makes you uncomfortable, which one actually puts you at zero cash. If your AI hasn't modeled that, then you are flying by. Number 4, what bias is baked into the inputs? Now, this is the biggest one. Every founder that I've worked with is optimistic, and they should be. That is what makes them founders. But optimism baked into a financial model is dangerous. And AI doesn't correct for your optimism, it actually amplifies it. And we've seen this in real deals. A founder walks into a pitch with an AI generated forecast showing 60% margin. The investors ask only one question: what is your customer acquisition cost trend? And the founder, unfortunately, doesn't know the answer because the AI didn't flag it. And the meeting is over in 10 minutes. These 4 questions, these are not about doubting AI. These are about using it the way that a good CFO uses it. You audit the assumptions, you interrogate the drivers, you debug the narrative, and you push the model to its breaking point. Because that is how you find out if the numbers are real or if they just look real. I will tell you what I tell our clients. Print out your AI generated forecast. Sit down with a red pen. Circle every number that you cannot personally explain. If you've got more than 3 circles on your first page, your AI is actually not helping you. It is hiding your blind spots behind pretty charts. Here's what I think is going to happen the next few years. AI is not going to replace finance people fully. It's already replaced people who've never questioned the numbers in the first place. Now think about it. If somebody's job was to just pull data, put it in a spreadsheet, yes, AI does a better job now. But if someone's job was to look at the numbers and ask if that number makes sense, what is missing, and what are the blind spots that we are not seeing, that person becomes 10 times more valuable. And this is especially true in India right now. We are seeing a wave of startups adopting AI tools for finance. Dukaan, Zoho, and even custom GPT setups. These tools are getting better every month. But the founders who win aren't the ones with the best tools. They're the ones who know which questions to ask the tools. That is the edge, and that is the moat. The next decade belongs to founders who know how to manage AI the way great CFOs manage their teams. Not with blind trust, but with structured skepticism. That means every Monday morning, before you look at the AI dashboard, ask yourself just one question. What could go wrong this week that the model isn't showing me? If you build that habit, you'll always be ahead of the numbers instead of being surprised by them. Because the future of finance isn't spreadsheets versus AI. It is blind AI versus critical AI. And only one of them keeps companies alive. So here's what I'd leave you with. Use AI, absolutely. Build it into your finance stack. But never stop asking, what is this thing assuming? The tool is only as smart as the questions that you ask it.